Okay, folks, so these are the instructions for today's lab. Today we're going to be dealing with voltage, current, and resistance, and we're going to try to figure out the relationship between those three variables. Um, and so I'm just going to kind of give you a brief description of those three things before you get going. So voltage is the energy difference between the positive and negative terminal of a battery. So if you want to think of it, it's voltage is like a measure of like how hard the electrons are being pushed through the circuit. Current is the measure of the flow of charge between 2 points in the circuit. So it's how fast are the electrons moving through the circuit. Resistance is a measure of how difficult it is for current to flow in the circuit. We measure voltage in volts, or V. We measure current in amps, or A. And resistance is measured in ohms, or the Greek letter omega, which kind of looks like a little horseshoe there. I like to use the analogy of water flowing through a pipe when I think about current. And so in that case, voltage is sort of like the water pressure in the pipe, and the current is how much water is moving through the pipe over a given period of time. So like, 5 gallons per second or something like that. Okay, and so then what you're going to do is you're going to go to this simulation right here. Click on that. It's going to take you to this page. And you can see they've got a little circuit set up here. They've got a battery, a light bulb, and then there's an ammeter right here to measure the current. And you can play around with the voltage in the light bulb and the resistance. Sorry, excuse me, the voltage in the battery and the resistance in the light bulb. So on the first data point in the table, you're going to set the voltage to 10. And you're going to set the resistance to 2. And at that point, the current is 5 amps. So you're just going to write down the current as 5 in your data table. And then you'll keep going. You'll set the voltage to 20, resistance to 5, voltage to 30, resistance to 10, so on. Do all those data points. Then at the bottom, you're supposed to just pick 3 data points. And then, so just set the voltage and resistance to whatever you want, measure what the current is, and then see if you can figure out what the relationship is between voltage, current, and resistance. And then you'll figure out which one of these triangles represents that relationship. So remember, whichever variable on top, you're multiplying the bottom two to get to the top. Whichever variable is on bottom, you're taking the top one and dividing by the bottom one, right? Same thing over here. Like, so for example, if the answer is C, then I equals R divided by V. So figure out which one of these is the right one. And then once you have the right triangle to represent the relationship, you're going to try to solve these practice problems, 9 through 14, using that triangle. Let me know if you have any questions. Yeah.